r/askreddit. What is the most amazing thing about the universe? The only way we can see the universe is from inside it. We will likely never possess any way of viewing our universe from outside its physicality. That it exists. And it came from somewhere. Or nowhere. I really hate thinking about this kind of stuff. It kinda feels like if I think too hard about why matter exists or where it came from and other similar questions, that everything might suddenly come undone or cease to exist. I'd say that's fair, if my Sims started glaring at me with raised eyebrows instead of going about the busy lives, I'd turn off the computer too. That every single random event since the dawn of creation, the birth and death of stars, planets and galaxies, the very genesis of life has led to you being here right now to ask this question. And I, making this useless comment. Thanks, universe. There is a theory which states that if ever anyone discovers exactly what the universe is for and why it is here, it will instantly disappear and be replaced by something even more bizarre and inexplicable. There is another theory which states that this has already happened. Douglas Adams. In the beginning the universe was created. This had made many people very angry and has been widely regarded as a bad move. We apologize for the inconvenience. God. This is one I thought about recently. I believe that Carl Sagan said that we, sentient entities, are a way for the cosmos to know itself. With this in mind, when we think about the end of our universe, whether it be through a big shrink, big cooling, or what have you, we get apprehensive. We probably will never see this end, many of us will be dead. Yet we still get a cold fear in our hearts. We are also a way for the cosmos to fear its demise. Hydrogen plus time equals people and planets. Hydrogen, given enough time, will send unsolicited dick pics. It must be true that either it didn't exist, then it did, or it has always existed. What even is time? The space in which space can change. The space of space. I'm so mind-fucked right now. Whales are the biggest known creatures in the known universe. They're the biggest animal, but the biggest organism is an aspen tree colony that has expanded over miles. And the second largest animal is Yo Mama. I think the honey mushroom has it beat. Plus, Pando is dying. You know, aside from Yo Mama. That somehow all the particles accumulated in a specific way and in specific quantities to give you conscious thought. There are 10 million particles in the universe that we can observe. Your mama took the ugly ones and put them into one nerd. That in the grand scheme of things we are all immortal. Our organic cells will die, our consciousness will cease, and we will no longer be able to directly observe existence, but the atoms that make up our bodies will simply be new compounds. And if energy is neither created nor destroyed, if our atoms continue to be, we will eventually make up the building blocks of new compounds. Pieces of us will watch the sun swallow up Mercury and Venus. Pieces of us will watch supernovae and black holes and all sorts of cosmic phenomena. Perhaps even one day our atoms will return to a nebula, and the cycle will begin again. A new star is formed, new planets begin to orbit it, liquid water forms on a small green rock orbiting this star, and an intelligent species evolves to travel to marvel at the wonders of our universe. One of my favorite shows is Battlestar Galactica, and one of the quotes that stuck out to me was, "All of this has happened before, and it will happen again." I tend to think there's some truth to that. I've had a couple friends and my grandfather died this year, and as an agnostic I am processing death a bit differently from the rest of my family. I don't think of death as the ending, as a finality. I don't think there is an afterlife as most religions conceive of it. I think that in a weird way, we all live forever. Edit. Holy shit, Silver. And people actually like this. Lol, wow, I'm just shocked. How young it is. People look at the universe being 13.7 billion years old and say, that is ancient. That is nothing. Stars will continue to form for another 100 trillion years. Even after that, stellar remnants will exist for quadrillions of years. Black holes will still produce energy that can be used by intelligent civilizations for 10,100 years. Keep in mind, if biological life doesn't destroy itself, we will just keep getting more and more knowledge. It's probably a safe bet that within 500 years, which is nothing on universal timescales, we will be an interstellar species that has long ago transcended biology. There is no telling what our descendants will do for the remaining life of the universe. The 4-5 billion years of biological evolution of life on Earth will be looked at as an embryonic stage for endless quintillions of years of real life to begin post-biology. They will view the universe as their oyster, a place of infinite possibilities, while we are still just spending our days trying not to die and trying to avoid being punished by our brains with pain. Imagine being transported to a parallel universe that was almost identical to our own. Somewhere out in the vastness of that universe, there is a tiny planet. This much is true in both universes. On this planet, there is a beach, and on that beach, there is a small stone. Once again, both universes are alike in this regard. Beneath that stone, however, there are several million grains of sand, and while they all are in precisely the same location in each universe, one of them, a tiny speck of particularly clear quartz, hewn from a larger hole millions of years before, has a single atom that is positioned a fraction of a femtometer differently than its twin in the mirror dimension. You may think that such an insignificant difference would label these two universes as being functionally identical, and you would be right. In fact, they are so similar that the multiverse has long since combined them into one reality. That single atom in that tiny speck of sand on that lonesome beach on a distant planet merely occupies two spaces at once, seeming to an outside observer to vibrate back and forth at a predictable rate. That every atom in existence seems to do the same is probably a coincidence. TLDR, everything is buzzing.